Sunday marks the 10th meeting between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and that includes the postseason. Allen is 4-1 in the regular season against the Chiefs, but Mahomes is 4-0 in January against Allen and the Bills. The Chiefs won last season's AFC Championship game against the Bills, 32-29 in Kansas City, but this one on Sunday is in Buffalo. They've been going head-to-head for years. And as you know, one comes up in the regular season, one comes up in the playoffs. You got to start to wonder with Buffalo at some point with the money that's been played to Josh Allen and the lack of flexibility they have, RC, when it comes to spending. Is the Buffalo championship window starting to close, in your opinion?
No, it's changing, though, right? The Buffalo Bills championship window felt like a right now thing the last 2 years. Like it had to be done. Like they had the team to do it. He wins the MVP last year. Everything we've seen with Joe Brady, allowing the evolution of Josh Allen, it was all right there for you last year, and you come up short on fourth down. Steve Spagnuolo makes the perfect call, sending Trent McDuffie off the edge of the line. Josh Allen makes an improbable throw. Dalton Kincaid can't come up with the catch. But it seems like the Kansas City Chiefs always come up with the catch. The Kansas City Chiefs always come up with the play. And so if you're the Buffalo Bills, it's what's the next step of this? But I do believe that when you have a Josh Allen, your window's never closing. You have to continue to allow it to evolve. The issue is this team isn't good enough. Yes, they've had injuries. Now Ed Oliver's out for an extended period of time. Matt Milano hasn't been playing. But has Matt truly been the Milano we saw 2 or 3 years ago recently? He hasn't. Now on the back end, Tre'Davious White, who's a good friend of mine, once an All-Pro, now he's not playing at that level anymore. Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp at the safety position when you were so comfortable for years because you had Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, probably the most underrated duo of safety in the history of the game. You don't have that anymore. So it's back on Josh Allen's shoulders. And if you watch 2 of the last 3 games, he's pressing now. He's trying to do too much. He had gotten out of that. And so I do believe that this team is not as good as the teams of the last few years. I'm not closing a window as long as Josh Allen is the quarterback, but they have to continue to evolve because right now where they are, they can't compete with the top of this league.
RC says the window's changing. Do you think that window's closing for Buffalo?
Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to play the age game, right? The great quarterbacks over the years, Brady, Manning, Breeze, Marino, Favre, right? They played their best ball in their 30s. Now, to your point, what I will agree with, they're not good enough yet. We can compete, but we're not going into a game that's saying to ourselves and everybody else, we're better than this team. We're going to out-execute them. We're going to out-coach them. We're going to out-scheme them up. But for us to really look on paper and say, hey, we're better than this team, we're supposed to win, we have pieces that are better, but not the totality is better. With Josh Allen, he's 29, I believe, right? As he's going into his 30s, and you start to say to yourself, okay, he understands how to win. He understands the leader that he has to be, and not just managing his expectations and his skill set, but also managing everybody around him. He's had that skill set added to his repertoire, but the guys or the amenities around him, as I would say, needs to enhance.
Fair enough. I think that when you look at the Bills championship window, we have a right to sit up there and say that it's closing by virtue of looking at the AFC and folks being on the come up. When you look at the Bills and their personnel and you highlighted what they're missing compared to what they had, let's go to the offensive side of the ball with the man that they just paid, Josh Allen, who is a superstar in the National Football League and deserves every damn penny he's getting. But one of the reasons we rave about a Jayden Daniels, for example, is because he was a rookie and he showed you what you could do so you don't have to spend so much money on them. One of the reasons we brought up Kevin McConnell in Minnesota is because you paid Sam Darnold $10 million last year and you got J.J. McCarthy under a rookie deal. So, subsequently, what that's supposed to mean is that you've got additional assets to spread around to make sure that you have a complete team. The Bills are like, no, you can't do that with this brother. This brother been around long enough and he deserves every penny because he's a superstar in this league. But what do you have with him? James Cook is a stud. He's running the football, averaging 6 yards a carry. We know they got the #1 rushing attack in the National Football League. What do they rank passing-wise? I'm looking it up right now. Passing-wise, in the National Football League this season, They're the 15th ranked passing attack in the National Football League, right? I'm looking at Khalil Shakur. I'm looking at Dalton Kincaid. I'm looking at Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman obviously has to play better. It's just that simple. He just has to play better, okay? So you look at them and you're saying to yourself, they're good. They could beat anybody. But they're far from, we went from talking about the Buffalo Bills as Super Bowl favorites to wondering whether or not they're going to win the AFC East. Think about that. We have questions right now whether they're going to win the AFC East because one man showed up in New England in Drake May and shows that they got a quarterback. They got a franchise quarterback for the future.
But the support, though.
I agree with that. No, I'm not questioning that. But the point is that last year when Gerard Mayo was, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. All I'm saying is, by default, we're looking at the other teams. Denver want to come up, Kansas City still there, all these New England, well, Indianapolis.
Last 5 years, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes go head-to-head, and this time it feels like it means everything to Allen's Bills. Isn't it ironic, maybe not ironic, but interesting at minimum, that you have the Chiefs at 5-3, the Bills at 5-2. In theory, Buffalo's record is better, and yet everyone is talking like, oh, the Chiefs are unbeatable, that no one can probably play with them, they're doing great, and the Bills are the one everyone is so incredibly worried about. Are you?
Yeah, I'm concerned with the Buffalo Bills, right? Because they're not trending in the right direction. They can't stop the run, you know, without Ed Oliver there. They have to play a certain way, and they don't have proven commodities at the receiver position. Yep. It seems like Josh Allen and who, right? Where you know when you go with Patrick Mahomes, you know who Rashee Rice is. You know what Worthy can do, Travis Kelce. And now that they're back healthy, you know that now you have to worry about the run game with Hunt and also with Pacheco. And that defense is always going to do. Spags going to always do what he always does.
Listen, Harry, maybe we can put it as simply as we can. The NFL in 2025 is about creating explosive plays. Do the Bills have guys on the outside that can do that consistently?
No, they do not. And that's been one of the things with this football team so far this season. Normally, Josh Allen is really good versus the blitz. I had that game last year, Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Josh Allen did a great job deciphering the blitz and guys made plays, but that just hasn't been the case this season. And one of the things that you know you're going to get versus the Steve Spagnuolo defense is the blitz. So can you trust a guy like Keon Coleman to win one-on-one on the outside? And when it comes to him and his game, I need him to get better and grow a little bit more as a wide receiver and be a complete receiver. Don't just run slants and go routes and stop routes. Can you add more to your repertoire and also to your resume of your football game as a wide receiver so you can now move around, play inside, and go amongst anywhere at the wide receiver position and be dynamic in that capacity?
Peter, you made an important point earlier this morning. In the interest of time, I'll just sort of summarize it. The Bills have less cap space available to them than any other team in the NFL. So making moves will be a challenge, but it's not impossible.
Not impossible.
You expect them to be active.
I expect Brandon Beane to always be on the phones, but I have to, give caution to everyone at home thinking they're going to make some big splash. The problem is they have the least cap space in the entire league. The Patriots, on the other hand, have the most cap space in the entire league. So the Patriots are far more able to make a move here and get them over the top when it comes to different positions in the Bills. I will note this, though. The loss of Mac Hollins is starting to show itself. Everyone said last year they didn't have a number one. Well, they had Amari Cooper and Mac Hollins who were playing big roles. Neither one of those guys are there right now. Mac Hollins with the Patriots, and he's blocking his butt off and helping them be the team that they are.
Put the picks up quickly. Bart, is Kansas